They fell into a magical world, but everything was upside down. Bright morning, Rose and Ruby were playing near an old hollow tree on the edge of the forest. As Rose leaned in to peek inside, the ground beneath them suddenly crumbled. And whoosh! They tumbled down into a deep, glowing tunnel. They landed with a soft thud on mossy ground. When Rose sat up and looked around, her eyes widened in shock and wonder. This wasn't an ordinary cave. It was an entirely new world, a world upside down. The first thing Rose noticed was a tiny elephant the size of a teacup marching past her feet. She gasped, "Ruby, look!" Ruby blinked in surprise, because hopping toward them was a rabbit 10 times her size. It wiggled its giant nose at them and let out a deep, booming thump, thump that shook the ground. "Ruby, you're tiny here," Rose giggled. "Or maybe everything else is just too big," Ruby said, twitching her ears. They looked around in amazement. Butterflies as big as eagles fluttered through the glowing trees. A family of mice the size of horses scurried past, carrying tiny baskets of acorns. Overhead, a roaring lion the size of a kitten pounced playfully on a floating dandelion seed. Rose and Ruby burst into laughter. "This place is incredible!" A ride on a snail. As they walked through the enchanted land, they met a snail the size of a cow. Its shell sparkled like polished gemstones. "Want a ride?" the snail asked in a slow, sleepy voice. "Yes, please." Rose climbed onto its smooth shell, and Ruby hopped beside her. The snail glided effortlessly, taking them through fields of giant mushrooms and under waterfalls that flowed backward into the sky. "This is the best adventure ever," Rose cheered. A tickle from a tiny tiger. Just as they were passing a massive sunflower, something leaped onto Rose's shoulder. She gasped, then giggled. It was a tiny tiger no bigger than a kitten, playfully batting at her hair. "Aw, you're so cute," Rose said, gently stroking its soft fur. The tiny tiger purred like a little engine, then hopped onto Ruby's head, making her stumble and squeak. Rose laughed so hard she almost fell off the snail. The doorway home. After hours of playing with towering beetles, sliding down huge blades of grass, and watching giant fireflies light up the sky, Rose and Ruby finally reached a sparkling pool. A wise old miniature elephant stood by the water and smiled. "This is the gateway back to your world. Step in and you'll return to normal." Rose and Ruby looked at each other. They didn't want to leave, but they knew they had to go home. With a deep breath, they stepped into the glowing pool. Whoosh! The world spun, colors swirled, and suddenly, they were back near the old hollow tree. Everything was normal again. Rose looked at Ruby. "Did that really happen?" Ruby twitched her nose. "If it didn't, why is there a tiny tiger footprint on your dress?" Rose gasped and giggled. Their magical adventure was real. And from that day on, they always wondered, if they found the right spot, could they go back again?